So is this the ultimate mobile composing rig? Well, let's see what we've got here. Well, the main sort of bit is in the middle here, where we've got a M1 Max Studio. A little bit more detail on why I chose that in a few minutes. And that's connected to this Focusrite audio interface, 2-in, 2-out audio interface. I'm inputting using a 2-octave Nectar keyboard here. And then I'm storing stuff around the back here. I'm keeping my projects on this Crucial X9 here. And then we've got this really super fast Sabrent Rocket X Super Extreme something or other. I'll come to more detail about why I chose that in a few minutes. And I also went for a standard Magic keyboard and a standard Magic mouse. So what did I buy and why, and what is my reasoning? Well, I'm actually here at my parents' house at the moment. My parents are unwell and I'm here sort of looking after them, and I really needed something that I could carry on working, something that was mobile. I was due a computer change anyway. I've been working for the last 6 years on a really old i5 PC, which actually worked absolutely fine, but I was well aware that it was getting ready for a bit of a change. And I knew I wanted something that was movable, so something that I could plug into my big studio monitor and my studio speakers at home, and this I could also bring here as well. And what I really didn't particularly want to do was to be in a situation where I'm changing files from one computer to another, from a sort of PC to a laptop or whatever. So I wanted a main computer that I could transport, basically. A PC tower is too big, really. I personally didn't decide to go for a laptop because I already have a laptop and I quite like using two computers. I use the laptop for admin and for video editing and so on and so forth, and the main computer for writing on. So I already had quite a good system there, so I didn't want to buy a laptop. I was also quite keen to keep on PC. Having done the research, the conclusion I came to was that there wasn't a PC alternative that was small enough and portable enough, like the Mac set of stuff. So there's obviously the Mac Studio and there's the Mac Mini as well. Now you can obviously buy small micro PCs, but my research, and I didn't go into it massively deeply, but when I researched, there was problems with them being noisy. I think that was the main issue. Also, I couldn't find one where at a reasonable price where the build quality I felt was the reviews were good enough for the build quality anyway. So it didn't quite work, and I was concerned about the noise with the fans on these little mini PCs. So I decided to look at the Mac lineup. I wanted 64 gig of RAM. The Mac Mini didn't provide that at the time. I think I'm right in saying the maximum is 32 gig. And I was also really keen to try out the M1 Silicon Macs because I understand they work really well with Cubase. So that was another motivation. And I, in my research, came to the conclusion that actually buying an M4 Mac was a bit overkill for what I need. I do mostly sequencing sort of with Cubase in the box, some mixing in some live instruments as well. Nothing massively, hugely CPU intensive for a powerhouse like a Mac Studio. So I went for a 3-year-old refurbished, because I'm really, really keen on reusing and refurbishing tech these days. A 3-year-old refurbished Mac M1 Max with 64 gig of RAM in it. Came from Hoxton Max. You wouldn't have known it was used. It came in a beautiful Mac Studio box that looked like it was brand new. Absolutely fabulous. Came the next day. It cost me £1,400, I think, which is a similar sort of price to what a reasonably spec'd PC would have been, maybe, but I think probably this is better spec. And it's small. It's really, really compact and it's really movable. The screen is a really, really simple £100 thing off Amazon. It's a 16-inch portable screen. It plugs in via USB-C. And I can obviously, the Mac Studio will, I think it does 3 or 4 monitors. I've got my big monitors at home, so I can plug my big monitors into that as well, no problem at all. and the screen here, the 16-inch screen, becomes just like a little side screen. It becomes my extra screen on the side. I decided to go for the Focusrite 2 in, 2 out. A change there for me. On my PC, on my other rig, I have a Steinberg MK2 or something or other. Now, the drivers for that, of course, no ends of problems over the years. The driver crashing for that, having to reload the driver to it. So I decided that I wasn't going to use that audio interface anymore. Again, research told me that the Focusrites work really, really well with Mac. I was so keen to have something that would just plug into the Mac and would just work, having not had massive problems with the PC, but spent a lot of time on the PC, I don't know, just getting things to talk to each other and uploading drivers and this, that, and the other. And my understanding was that the Focusrite plug was plug and play, and it turned out to be that way. Again, I got that refurbed. It was £99, I think. You would not have known it was refurbished. I got that directly from Focusrite. The memory was an interesting thing. So I'm using SSD drives on this. I'm not using the internal memory on the Mac. It's only got 2 terabyte or something. It's not very big, 1 terabyte even. Because I want to be able to take my sample libraries and my projects from one computer to another quickly and easily should the need arise. I'm aware I'm on a refurbed machine here, and if anything went wrong with it, I want to be able to swap over everything really, really quickly and put it onto another machine, which I can do now. I've got my sample libraries on one SSD, and I've got my all of my projects on another one. My projects are on a Crucial drive, and I'm getting something like 900 megabytes a second download speed on that, I think. And on the Sabrent, what is it? It's a Sabrent Extreme Pro, Extreme Fast. I can't remember, expensive, lots of dollar signs. I'm getting something like 2,500 megabytes up and downloads on that, I think, something like that. It seems to be very, very fast anyway. So the thing here is that the Sabrent drive is a Thunderbolt drive. My understanding, and this is just what I understand, and I think it's right. The Sabrent is a Thunderbolt. It has a Thunderbolt connector, and it downloads and uploads much, much quicker than the USB 3, which is the Crucial X9, I think. The Sabrent seems to be twice as quick, which is great. So sample libraries are uploading really, really fast. Keyboard, I just went for a Nectar 2-octave. Again, that was new, actually, about £100 or so. My main keyboard is a Nectar, but they're not particularly, I think they're relatively inexpensive, but it works well. I'm not a pianist as such. The action is a little bit plasticky on them, but it's okay. Both of them work really, really well. Plug and play, it was great. For the keyboard and the mouse, I did look into all sorts of options here, but I was so keen just to have something that would plug in and work that I went for the standard Magic keyboard and the standard Magic mouse. Both of those were refurb off eBay, no problems. Literally plug them in, hello, here we are, and it works. So the whole process of changing to Mac from PC was so straightforward. It was so easy. 10 times easier than I thought it would be, and literally, I think without exception, every single thing I plugged it in and it was just like, hey, here we are, I'm working. And I don't think I'd have got that if I changed to a new PC. So this lot all packs up into a small box to put in the back of the car. You could get it smaller, obviously. Oh, and I'm using headphones to monitor on. I should have said my AKG. What are these? I'm not sure what they are. Audio Technica, I think. Headphones to monitor on. You could obviously put a small pair of headphones, a small pair of speakers in with this. You could obviously use, I could run this off my Mac. This is a Mac Pro M1 laptop. I could run it off this. It's only got 8 gig of RAM on it though, which isn't enough for me. If you wanted to go smaller, obviously the whole lot would run off this. You would need to have a whatever it's called, USB adaptery, portery, what's the thingy here, because these things on some of them only got a couple of Thunderbolt ports on it. It's a bit less flexible, I think, in terms of plugging everything in and then plugging my 3 monitors in at home, but it could theoretically run off a laptop, no problem. You could go for a much smaller keyboard. That keyboard's got full-size keys, which I think I love. I hate playing keyboards with little mini keys, but if you wanted to shove this in a rucksack with the MacBook Pro, a small mini keyboard, you could probably do without the Focusrite, actually. You don't massively need it. I don't know, it seems to make things a bit easier. And the headphones, you could get this into a rucksack, no problem, I think, if that was the way that you wanted to go. One small thing, on the other side of the room here, I have got a thing that you plug into the mains. If there's a big electrical current, it cuts out. I can't remember what it's called now, a circuit breaker or something. It was about £20 off eBay. What are they called? So if there's a lightning storm and there's a current boost, there's a special word for it, which I'll put in the description because I can't remember it at the moment. But it made sense with this new kit to have something protecting it. It was £20 off Amazon or something, and it's 1900 joules of protection. I know that you need to have the best part of 2000 for a computer kit. The whole kit and caboodle cost me about £2,000, £2,000, that is. As I said, a lot of this was refurbed. If I'd used new Mac stuff, it would have cost an awful lot more than that, and I'm utterly delighted with it. And I think the thing for me is it's just really, really nice to have spent that money, thought about what I spent it on, and got what I wanted that just works really, really beautifully. And I think there's also something really lovely about having earned that money through writing music and sort of be plowing that back into my composing kit, I suppose, which is small, it's modest, but it's mine, and I feel immensely grateful that I've been able to earn money to buy something as great as this and to continue writing, to earn more money, hopefully, coming in the future. If you're thinking of going mobile, I would really, really give this some serious thought, or what I've got here, and I hope it's been helpful, and good luck. Thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in another video soon. Bye-bye.